Hey guys, welcome to another video. But before we get into this, let's have a look at the standings after last week's win. As you can see, we are now leading the Tier 2 Championship with 314 points. Let's have a look at the team standings. We're currently sitting in third, 37 points away from the top spot, so all to play for in the team championship. If you like the video, guys, please hit that like button, do all that good stuff, hit the subscribe button, so you get notified of when all my content is out. So in this video, we're just going to concentrate on the start before we go into the crux of the applying pressure. So we get a good start and we're coming down into turn one. We've got Buccio on our left there, but we managed to hug the inside on the turn one, and we managed to get into second position behind Jazzman. Now Jazzman is in a league of his own. The time that this guy is putting in, he just manages to extract everything from that car, and it's very difficult for me to keep up with him, but it is always a nice feeling when you manage to kind of not let him get away into the distance at a rate of knots. But we've got Sneaky Ninja 24 behind us and Buccio in fifth there. 1, 2. Yeah, sorry. So it's Jazzman in first, myself in second, Sneaky Ninja in third, and Buccio in fourth as the timing screen updates. The main race here today is between myself and Buccio in fourth. But just a quick introduction, as you've probably already seen, it's an hour-and-a-half race with one mandatory pit stop, and refueling is allowed. So we're coming around the second to last corner, and Sneaky Ninja 0.6 seconds behind us, with Buccio 1 second behind him. And obviously Jazzman is already setting off into the distance, 2.1 seconds up the road with a 47.5, myself with a 49.7, and then we're going into the 50s behind. We're going to move it forwards onto lap 4, where Sneaky Ninja has a bit of a moment. So as you can see, he's 1.1 seconds behind me, with Buccio a couple of seconds behind him. But as we come through the next right-hander, if you keep a look in the rear view mirror, Buccio gets a massive oversteer moment there, and ends up in the Armco barrier. Jazzman, as I said, seven seconds in front of us. That guy's in a league of his own, so just to be in touch with him would be a good thing, but unfortunately we're just thinking about the people behind us, which is Buccio 2 seconds behind. So just to let you know, guys, these races are extremely difficult to keep your tyres alive. The track temperature was 44 degrees, and we're racing here for an hour and a half with, as I said, one mandatory pit stop and a bit of refueling as well. Refueling is allowed. So we took about 81 litres of fuel for our first stop, which just gets us over the halfway mark. So we're going to move it forward slightly here. Oh yes, we're going to move it onto lap 6, I think it is. Sorry, lap 5. And Sneaky Ninja, who went into the pits, has managed to get his car fixed and comes out in front of us. Now we're going to move it slightly forwards again onto lap 7, and I just want to say thanks very much, because obviously he's come out in front of us, he realises that the leaders are catching him up, and he moves out of the way. He's obviously a quick driver, he's in tier 1, but he's not going to get involved with anything, and he's just going to lead his own race, and he gets out of the way of Buccio in a second as well. So I just want to say thanks again to Sneaky Ninja. Moving forward onto lap 15, we managed to pull a gap on Buccio up to 4.3 seconds, and it's here where I start to make a few mistakes as we come through the chicane. That's my first big mistake, which then has a knock-on effect onto my confidence and where I'm putting the cars, what gears to be in, and these little mistakes have big impacts because they don't just last on the corner that you made the mistake. You've got to really, it's how fast you can recover from that mistake is the key. So we end up losing about 2 seconds on that lap to Buccio, and the gap comes down to it was 2 seconds, but we're moving forward to the first round of pit stop. Buccio goes into the pits, and it's now 1.3 seconds that Buccio is behind us. As you can see there, our fuel is running low. We've only got 1 lap left in it, so I need to put in a really good in lap, well, as good as I can get with the tyres that I've got, which are shot. And we come round the final corner to enter the pits. As you can see there, my left front is completely dead. It's up to 28.1 now. Front right's up to 28. The rears aren't looking too bad, but my fronts are completely gone as we come into the pits. And obviously I can see up there in the distance that there's a car right in front of my pit crew, and I'm just like, this isn't happening, but obviously it is, and you just got to deal with it. So as we come in, the inevitable happens. Yeah, completely missed my marks and I have to get brought up, and that costs you about 3 seconds. So we're looking for car number 9 on the track map, Buccio, who's coming around the second to last corner now, and I think that we're going to come out pretty close together, but I'm actually wrong, and Buccio goes through, and lo and behold, it's the 3 seconds that I managed to miss my marks that he's in front of us. So this is why it's really important to make sure that you hit your marks and get flawless pit stop, because from 1.4 seconds in front of, from being 1.4 seconds in front of Buccio, I'm now 3.5 seconds behind. His tyres are slightly warmer, and I've got no hope of getting that recovery in on the first lap. Moving forwards only a couple of laps, you can now see that Buccio's opened up a 7.2 second lead over myself, and he's flying up the front with 33 minutes to go. And what we do over the next 30 minutes is basically chip away at that 7-second lead all the way down to the final 6 minutes. And here we go, guys, we've moved it down to the final bit of the race, where we now start to apply the pressure, which is what this video was all about. It's an hour-and-a-half race that's come down to these final few laps here at the Hungaroring, and as we've closed this 7-second gap down, we realise that Buccio's tyres are completely gone off. Now, what a lot of people do in these positions is they close up to the back of people and then they try desperately to overtake them. What you've got to understand is the person in front has a lot of pressure on them, okay, and they're feeling it. They had a 7-second advantage. That 7 seconds has been whittled down to next to nothing, and here's where we spot the first mistake. As we come round through the left-hander and into the right-hander, you're going to see Buccio run wide on the left hand side. That right there was a track warning. And it's here where I'm thinking, okay, we've got 6 minutes left. We just need to stay on the back of Buccio and we need to pressurise him as much as we possibly can. Because trying to overtake at the Hungaroring is not an easy task. And I've been whittling this lead that Buccio's had from 7 seconds all the way down to what we're at now, 1 second. You really need a full clear second to overtake on this track, and without that full clear second you're not going to do it. So it's just a case of trying to put pressure on. If he makes a mistake, yeah, I'm going to capitalise on that. He runs wide there, so I know his tyres are completely gone. I'm matching my fastest times in the first section of the track, so it's just a case of getting right behind him. And just like we explained in last week's video with my brother, that was another track warning. I'm sure that was another track warning, so we're already counting 2. And just like I said in last week's video, it's all about how you can handle this pressure and apply it. So you just need to get as close as you possibly can to the car in front without hitting them. Okay, if they make a mistake, capitalize on that mistake. And let's see as we go around this corner, as we go through the S's again, I'm sure there might be another one as we get through here. So let's just see if we run wide again, and that's another one. So we've already counted 2, possibly 3 track warnings. He might have got away with that one there, but we can see that Buccio is using all the track. His tyres are gone. There's no way that he would have just given 8 seconds up just like that. It's been a long process to get into this position, and you just have to be patient, guys, because what you're about to see is, by applying that pressure, how a race can come to you in the final stages. So we're not looking for any overtake here. We are if he makes a mistake, but I'm not going for any overtake. I'm just literally sitting behind him, trying to get as close as I possibly can without touching him. And that's what it's all about, because in order, as I said before, in order to perform an overtake, I got to be a second faster than him. There's no way I'm going to perform an overtake without being a second faster than him. He might have got track limit there, I don't know. With this track, you can get warnings for nothing, but you can get away with some as well. So I feel like we're in the last couple of minutes, and we're just trying to keep as close as we can behind him, being patient. Might have been another one there, I'm not sure, but as I look back at this video and I see the amount of times that he's going off, I'm feeling like he must have been racking them up. I can't believe I missed all of those as we're racing, but it's crazy how, watching it back, you see so many as he makes the mistake here. But what am I going to do here? I can only go to the outside. There's no way I can perform an overtake. We're both going to get good traction off the last corner. There's no way I can outbrake into turn 1. So again, just be patient, keep behind, and don't do anything crazy. Just put your nose in, but it's not a case of I'm going to banzai up the inside. Just keep close. And point 3, he's going to be feeling this. He knows his tyres are gone as well, so he's going to be overdriving this as I keep much closer to the apexes than he can. And this is what it's all about. It's just about keeping him behind, keeping that pressure applied as we go through the left-hander here and into the long right-hander before the chicane. And I feel it might be here that he picks up his drive-through. and as he approaches the chicane, he can't take it. He goes through to the left-hand side, and that's where he gets his drive-through penalty. With 1 minute to go on the end of the race, and I didn't actually notice this. I noticed it as we come through this left-hander into the right, and he goes wide again, and I feel here's where I looked down to see he got the penalty, because I was like, that's definitely another track warning, and I saw that he had the drive-through penalty. And this is where you've got to use your head, guys. I'm on 2 track warnings, okay? As I come through the final corner, I back out. There's no point in me racing him and for us to both collide, one to get my to ruin my safety rating, and to cause damage to both of the cars. Now it's all a case of backing off and just doing your final lap and using your head. Now I know the racer in all of us is just like, yeah, let's go and attack, let's get in front of him, I want to prove who's best. Well, we did that by keeping it on in between the white lines and making sure that we don't get any track penalties, any track warnings. We've got 2 already in an hour and a half, and we don't want to pick up any more. And I tell you what, when I slowed down, actually even through here, I was like, holy cow, I was so close to getting another track warning. And all of a sudden, you've got to engage actually keeping your concentration by slowing down. It's much harder to slow down and keep the car where you want it. But what I didn't want to do, as like I said before, is get involved in any sort of battle with Buccio. So yeah, as we come through the right-hander here and into the 3rd to last corner, we back out of it completely, and yeah, it's just a case of being patient and bringing it home across the line. So we come through the 2nd to last corner, and then Buccio pulls into, I thought he was going to carry on, but he pulls into the pit lane, which allows us to come round to the final corner and take the checkered flag after an hour and a half racing. And I tell you what a great race. An hour and a half. It came down to the last 7 minutes, and I just wanted to show you guys the last 7 minutes and show how applying pressure on someone can work in your favour, especially if you've brought down a gap from 7 seconds all the way down to 1. The person in front of you, no matter who it is, well, unless it's the top guys, or you've been in those situations time and time again, that you can handle that pressure and you can keep the car behind. So I just wanted to show you that video. I hope that it helps others in not making banzai moves when you get up, close up onto the car behind. So if you like the video, guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll be putting out another video of the actual race that we've got coming up later on during the week. So for now, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.